Everybody, in this video, I'm going to walk you through how to set up a drawing file now that we have those templates from the last video that I've shared with you guys. So you should have a title block set up and ready to go for both English and metric parts. This part here is built in English units, so I'm going to draw then a new design from this file. I'm going to click on Model, Drawing from Design. And for the template, as opposed to making it from scratch, I'm going to go choose one of the title blocks. So I'm going to use LNHS title block as the one that I've set up. You'll notice that it says ASME is the standard. It's grayed out. I can't change this because of the title block that I've chosen, which means it's going to measure everything in inches, and it's got an A size sheet of paper, which is 8.5 by 11, but turned in landscape mode. So click OK, and it's going to pull up a new file. It's very simple. It wants me to choose the size of the scale first, so I'm going to choose maybe 2. Okay, so that way it doesn't have a ton of blank space, but doesn't have a little blank space either. I'm going to click. I'm going to choose OK. This is set up and ready to go. Now, as far as projected views go, I come up here and I can also use P on my keyboard. It wants to know which one do I want to project. I want to choose this front view. Come up here and click top view, right view, and isometric. Right click and choose OK. The only thing that I don't like about this right now is I want this to be shaded so it looks like the hand-drawn version. So I'm going to double click on it. I'm going to change the appearance to shaded. And I'm going to click close. Now I can go through and I can start dimensioning. Dimensioning menu is right up here. I can do things like add the dimension for the top. 2 clicks will place that. 2 clicks will place this, so on and so forth. I know I showed that in a different video, so I'm not going to go any farther with it right now. Now here's the reason I really wanted to make this video though, is if we go look at the second part of this assignment, this part was built in metric units. And you would think that everything would be exactly the same, but there's a little twist in creating the drawing file for this. So I'm going to create model, drawing from design. We want to make sure that we use the ISO, the standard, the millimeters title block that I've set up for you, so the metric one. I'm going to click OK. Actually, this is the wrong title block because of this, but that's okay. We're going to change the scale here, maybe like 1.75, I think is what I've been using for this particular part. I'm going to click OK. And what you're going to notice is this. When I go to the projected view, just like I did in the last one, 2, 3 clicks, this is wrong. Things are wrong here, right? I've taken this part, and you can see that I'm looking at it from below now, right? So here's the front view, and it's below. And the reason is that every country except the United States uses a different kind of projection method to create their drawing sheets. And unfortunately with Fusion 360, at least at this point in time, we can't change that, okay? So we need a different workaround. The problem is this. When I project from this view, this is actually the bottom instead of the top. This is the left view instead of the right. And this is the bottom left instead of the top right. Okay, so what do we do in this situation? I'm going to hit Control-Z and undo that. Okay, there we go. Back to this. When I go through and I do my projections, the difference is this. It's an easy workaround. It's just kind of confusing the first time. When I do parts in metric with Fusion 360, I've got to click here, and instead of projecting up or right, I'm going to project left. Instead of projecting up, I'm going to project down. And then I'm also going to choose over here. Right click and OK. Now the parts are all correct. They're just in the wrong spot. I'm going to take them, grab the gray square here, slide it up. Take this one, grab it, slide it to the right. Take this one, grab it, and slide it to the top right. Now everything is in the correct orientation. Double click on this, shade it, and you're ready to start adding dimensions. Again, so for every metric part, which luckily in this class we don't do a ton of them, but every metric part that we have, you're going to have to go through that method and project them the opposite direction and then slide them into the correct place to get going. So hopefully that makes sense. In the next video, I'm going to show you how then are you going to turn in the files.